So it's that time of year again where Shopify share with us what they've been working on behind the scenes for the last 6 months. And this time they've got over 100 different updates to the platform that is going to help you improve your online business, improve your operations, and inevitably make you more money online. And in today's video, I want to take you through the features that I feel are really going to help you in your e-commerce journey, the ones that matter. With over 100, there's so many to choose from, but I want to pick sort of my top favorite ones that I think are going to make the biggest impact. Now, if we're just meeting, my name is Brendan Gillen. I'm a Shopify partner, I'm an e-commerce coach, and I run my own 7-figure Shopify stores. I put videos like this out all the time to try and help e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you start, optimize, and grow their online business. So if you do like what you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment whether or not any of these features you want me to talk more about, and I'll do that for you. So let's get straight into it. Shopify call this the Foundations update. They're really focusing on improving their core platform and improving all the frustrations that they've heard on the last sort of 5 to 10 years across their platform. And one of the biggest updates they're saying they've had is across the product merchandising module. And what that is where you upload products, add in product data, upload images, and do all the things there. And they say this is the biggest update they've done to this in the last 15 years. So I want to dive into some of those feature updates now. The first one is they're expanding the way that we define product categories. So right now we would assign product categories to our products, and then we'd create custom meta fields for different things like size and color and different things that are attributed to that product. What Shopify are now doing is creating product field sets that go against product types. So let's just say you have clothing, you could have a whole heap of product fields that are specific to clothing, like material, size, color, things like that. Whereas if you had something in the food space, it would be things like ingredients, menus, recipes, all those sorts of things. And what Shopify is saying you can do is you can create product data against different product types, and it's going to use the AI to help you with that. That is going to be really cool. Speaking of those types of variants, what then is going to be able to happen, and we could associate different photography with the sizes and colors as well, it's going to really allow us to extend our product information. It's a lot better for the customer to be able to buy our stuff. And on the topic of variants, one of the biggest frustrations that I have heard from hundreds of different Shopify merchants, both externally and in my coaching community, is the 100 variant limit. Now, if you don't know what that is, if you've got a product that has, say, 5 colors and 10 sizes, what happens is each one of those becomes a single variant, and you can only have up to 100. Now, a lot of people are hitting that really, really quickly, especially if they're adding in new colors and sizes to a single product. Now, Shopify is moving from a 100 product variant limit to a 2,000 product variant limit. Now, that is exactly what we want to hear. However, this isn't going to roll out straight away, and it's currently in developer preview, which means we're probably not going to see that for about another 12 months. But we know it's coming and it's exciting, and everyone is really pumped about it. Now, if you're on Shopify Plus, there is a new feature which is going to be called the Combined Product Listing app. This is a really cool feature for those people that do have lots of variants on their products. It allows you to have variant specific product information. So if you think about right now, if you change color and size, you have to have the same product description and product information. With this combined product listings, we can have specific information to each variant, which is going to be really cool. Not only from a customer perspective, but it's also going to be great for an SEO perspective. Now, as we all know, AI is a huge game changer when it comes to tech. And Shopify have leveled up again in the AI space. So if you remember in our last editions video, and if you haven't watched it, you can catch the link up here somewhere, but I went over the editions 6 months ago. We talked a lot about something called Shopify Magic. And what that allowed us to do was update our product descriptions using AI, and it wrote them for us. Now, Shopify are doing the same thing, but they're doing it for product images. So now we can change the backgrounds, we can change the color, we can type in the type of background that we want, and the Magic is going to do that for you. So it's going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited to see where this AI is going to go with Shopify. So that's the merchandising side of things. Now, there's a few really useful apps that Shopify have built that are now in full release. We've had them in test, which we talked about in the last editions, but now they're open to the public. The first one that I'm super pumped about is Shopify Subscriptions. This is where you can create a subscription product, people can sign up to it, and you can sell it to them monthly, and they just get charged on their credit card. They can log in, they can pause their subscription, they can extend it, they can add to it, they can do lots of things. You don't need an app now from another vendor that you have to pay for to do this. You can do it directly within Shopify. The The next app that Shopify have produced is called Shopify Bundles. Now this has been released for about 4 or 5 months, and it was pretty basic to start with. We could only do sort of 10 product bundles, and it wasn't really great, really basic, but now they've upgraded a little bit more. We can now do 30 products in a single bundle, and there's a few more features around discounting and merchandising on that as well. So that one's going to be really cool. So if you're into bundling your products, you want to increase that AOV, that's the tool that's going to do it for you. Now the next app that I really like is Shopify's Search and Discovery app. Now this is the app that powers all the AI, the recommendations engines, and the search results in your Shopify store. This just keeps getting better year over year over year, and we're less reliant on third-party apps to do our search and merchandising. So we're just seeing more and more improvements in the AI side of things. If you're on Shopify Plus, they have released semantic search, which is a more advanced ability to search and give results to those customers. So what that means is that we're going to get better results to our customers, and people that search and find the things that they want are more likely to convert and to buy. So if you're not using Shopify Search and Discovery, I recommend you install it on your store and start playing around with it. Now, obviously, all those apps are free from Shopify, so you have no excuse not to use them. It doesn't cost you any more, and they are super compatible with the Shopify platform. So the next round of updates comes around with checkouts, payments, and fulfillment. Now, there are some really cool, innovative updates that are just going to make using this platform a lot better, but also make it easier for your customer to shop from you. The first one is the one-page checkout. Now, most of you, actually, everyone should have this now. It's the checkout where people don't need to go from one page to the next page to the next page to check out. It's just all in this one easy to understand checkout. So that's been updated, and they say it's cut 4 seconds off the checkout time. So that's pretty cool. You don't need to do anything. You'll already have that. They've also said they've sped this up by 95% to make it super fast. Now, speed is a really big factor for Shopify. In that keynote they said they're obsessed with making sure they have the fastest platform in the world. So we're going to see a lot more talk about that. But I want to get into some of the checkout and fulfillment features that I think are going to really help you. If you're using Shopify POS, or point of sale system, they have this really cool feature that if you have multiple stores and someone comes into your store, you can fulfill it from another store. Now, this is usually reserved for large retailers with dedicated ERP systems and fulfillment centers, but now you can just have 1 or 2 stores, one from one side of the country, one on the other side of the country, and if you're out of stock when a customer's in there, you can say, hey, you know what? I can ship it from my other store. They can pay in the store that they're in and then get it shipped to their home address. It is really cool, and it's really going to help the customer, but not only that, it's going to make sure you don't lose a sale. The next feature in this category that I really like is Shopify Exchanges. Now, in the last Shopify Editions video I spoke about, Shopify introduced the self-service returns where people could log in, submit a return, and it was really easy for us as merchants to do it. I implemented it in my store, and it was really, really cool, and everyone loved it. Now, what they've done is they're upgrading that to give people the ability to exchange items. You couldn't do that last time. If someone wanted to exchange an item, what we needed to do was get the item back and then create a new order and ship it out to them. But now with Shopify Exchanges, we can do that. So that one's going to be pretty cool, pretty neat. Again, making it easier for the customer, easier for you. Happy days. Now, the final part is all about Shopify loans and financing. I know I've used Shopify financing in the past to buy some stock. However, it's been revenue-based financing. What that means is they take a clip of every single sale that you have, and it can really affect your cash flow. So what Shopify have done is they've realized people can't continue to do that because it's hard to keep the money in the bank if you're continually paying out of every single order to pay off a loan. So they've introduced 2 new funding features that I think are going to be really interesting. One of them is called line of credit. So that is where they give you, a line of credit that you can just draw down on as you need, whereas Shopify Capital, they just dump the money in your bank account. Now, the other one is a Shopify term loan, and what that means is that you have a loan for a term or a period of time, and then you just have to pay it back over time based on fixed an agreement. So it's not based on revenue. So you can have 3 different ways to get capital out of Shopify, and if the rates are right and the numbers are right for your business, it could be a really interesting way to help you grow your business. And the last one when it comes to fulfillment and inventory is one that really applies to people who run multi-location stores. So let's just say you have inventory in Australia, inventory in the US, inventory in Europe. What happens now is that you have a total inventory, 10 units in one place, 10 units in another place, and 10 in another, which means you've got a total inventory of 30. When we go to sell that item, the customer can buy up to 30 units, even though they're spread across 3 locations. Shopify have fixed that because that can become really cumbersome in the back end, and we're able to set inventory levels at the location level. It's a good feature for big stores that are overselling stock, and it's really going to make your life a lot easier if you have multiple locations. Now, the final one, which is really interesting, and I said earlier that they have a huge focus on improving speed, and we saw this a few years back when they started to do speed scores on the store, and everyone became obsessed with trying to improve that speed score. Now, they are going to the next level and they're turning that speed score into a performance dashboard. So you're going to start seeing this rolling out to your stores, and it's going to tell you what parts of your store are slowing you down. So that speed score, not only are we going to have this top line score, we're going to know everything about the core web vitals and things that are slowing you down, the JavaScript, the images, everything. So you're going to have as much information as you need to try and have your store as fast as possible. I think Shopify really are on a mission to make sure that they do have the fastest sites in the world, because after all, if you have a super fast site, it converts a lot better. So this web performance dashboard is going to be really interesting. And I think for Shopify partners and developers and things like that, there's going to be a whole lot of work for them to improve people's speed score. So they're my sort of top ones, guys, on the call outs for the Shopify editions. As you can see, nothing is really sort of stand out. They're just really good core features that just make our lives a little bit easier. They help our customers, they help our team, they help our operations. And really the idea about this is trying to make selling online easy. And I think they're nailing it on this one. Now, was I hoping to see something bigger and better? Yeah, of course, we always want to see something bigger and better. But you know what? Sometimes we just got to get down and dirty, optimize so that we can grow our business and focus on working on growing our business, not working on fixing our business. So hopefully that is sort of what you took out of this one. Now, if there's any features here you want me to go a little bit deeper on, it was just a top level overview, feel free to comment down below the one that you want to hear more about. I'll go in, I'll do some deep diving, and I'll find out a little bit more about it. Otherwise, if you want to know a little bit more about Shopify, there's a lot of videos that you can click around here that will help you grow your e-commerce business.